right, I am back in action after some technical difficulties, and we are going to be learning about angle bisector theorem. Honestly, one of the more annoying things to have to ever learn in your life because it doesn't really seem like it should be a thing, but it is. And here we go. There's actually a proportion to be found here in this kind of situation. You do have an angle bisector for the triangle. The relationship is that A will correspond to B, and that will equal C corresponding to D. So A over B equals C over D, and that's the proportion you're going to need to know. I would definitely take a moment to take note of this so it's with you as you do your problems, and that's what we're going to be using. That is angle bisector theorem. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at example 1 here. So basically, we see that this segment in the triangle is an angle bisector. They're showing these two angles are the same. So we can go ahead and make our relationship. This could be considered our A, our B, our C, and our D. So I could do 15 over x plus 1 equals 35 over 21. There are a couple other proportions I could have made here, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to keep it nice and simple on this video. So now that I've got that, it's just a matter of cross multiplication. So x plus 1 is going to get multiplied by 35. And 15 is going to multiply 21. All right. Now I'll distribute 35 times x, 35x. 35 times 1 is 35. And then 15 times 21 will be 315. Now, at this moment, I'm just going to subtract the 35 from both sides. So 35x equals 315 minus 35 is 280. And now I just got to divide by the 35 on both sides. So after the first step of cross multiplication, it's just your regular old algebra style problem here. So x equals 280 divided by 35. And that ends up being x equals 8. Now, the only thing that you might get tripped up on is you might have to plug that value back in. Here we were just solving for x. I think the worksheet's pretty straightforward and you don't have any of those crazy situations going on. So, yeah, this is the more straightforward variety that you're going to see. All right, so on examples 2 and 3, we're going to be looking at the more annoying kind of problems, basically. So whenever you're seeing them give you a whole segment, like they're giving you the 30 for the whole piece over here, what you're going to want to do is break it into 2 parts. So the question mark is the missing length that's indicated. Usually what I like to do is just represent that with an X. And so now I need to describe this segment right here. And to do that, I'm going to describe it as 30 minus x. Now I'm ready to make my proportion and find x, which will be the missing length that is indicated here. So I'm going to consider this my A, this my B, this my C, this my D. So 12, which is A, over 30 minus x, equals 28, which is C, over x. And now I'll go through the whole exercise again of cross multiplication. So I'm going to have 28 multiplying the 30 minus x. And I'm going to have 12 multiplying the x. Now as far as 28 times 30, and I am just using a calculator here. Don't let me fool you that I'm that great. 840. And 28 times negative x is negative 28x. And then 12 times x is 12x. Hey, that's the kind of math I can actually do. All right, now I'm going to add the 28x to both sides is what I'm going to prefer to do. And so 840 would equal 12x plus 28x is 40x. I'm going to divide both sides by the 40. and x is going to equal 840 divided by 40. Well, 84 divided by 4 is 21, so that's the length of the missing side. There's my answer. It was not actually an X on the problem. They used this stupid little question mark symbol, which I don't really like. But there's my answer, easy as can be. Just make sure that you're representing this part with 30 minus X to get that. All right, leads us into our last example. Example 3, my pen got a little bit messed up here. So you got x plus 3 right here, you got a 4 right here, a 9 and a 6. The very first thing I'm going to do is actually represent this length from the corner up to where the angle bisector intersects. So what that's going to be is x plus 3, the whole segment, minus 4. Now, if you're thinking, well, that looks rather stupid, why wouldn't you write that as x minus 1? I totally agree with you. And so that's what I'm going to have, x minus 1 representing this segment. So now it's again a over b equals c over d. I'm choosing 9 to be my a over x minus 1 equals c, 6 over d, 4. Now here you'll see that I completely ignored the x plus 3 when I'm actually making my setup because, hey, this x minus 1 was a whole lot more useful and I can actually use angle bisector theorem. Now it's the same old song and dance that we've already done on this lesson. So 6 is going to multiply the x minus 1. 4 is going to multiply the 9. That's 6x minus 6 equals 4 times 9 is 36. Add the 6. 6x equals 42. Divide by 6. X equals, that would be 7. And since I don't need to find the length of a segment, I am just solving for x as the instructions say here. Boom, that is the final answer. All right, folks, please get that worksheet done. Please email me and let me know if you've got any questions or need some help. And I will be diligent in responding to you. Thank y'all very much. Bye.